Welcome to the last and arguably most important lesson in this module, and that is where we show you how to delegate and elevate. So let's first recap really quickly what we've covered in this whole module. We started things off by giving you some foundational basic information about how SEO works. We called that SEO 101. We looked at how that's a little bit different from local SEO and kind of the definitions of those things. Then we went into examining your local SEO battlefield and that fight for those top positions. We also talked about how you can connect your business goals to your SEO strategies. And then we talked about how to claim, optimize, and maintain your Google business profile. So now that we've got all of that out of the way, let's talk about how you can put all these pieces together and delegate and elevate. So in this lesson, what we're going to show you are first the things that you need to do, then we're going to show you what you can delegate, and then we're going to go over all of the assets that we have created for you, the downloadable PDFs, spreadsheets, etc., that are yours to use to help you get all of this stuff organized, delegated, so you can elevate and get back to doing what you do best. All right, let's get into it. Here we go. Let's delegate and elevate. So, as promised, the first thing we're going to look at are things that you need to do, and then we can show you what you need to delegate. So on your list is your Google Business Profile. You're going to have to claim that, make sure you're an admin, and add users to it. Then you're going to need to get real specific about what your goals are and how you're going to measure that. And then the things that you can delegate. Yay, it's a longer list. That's going to be the routine maintenance on your Google Business Profile, some in-depth competitor research, content strategy, keyword research, technical SEO, and then finally tracking and reporting. So let's break all this stuff down. Let's look first at the things that you need to do. On your Google Business Profile, if you haven't already claimed and verified that listing, we have a whole module on that shows you how to do that. You're going to have to do that. And you need to verify that you, as the owner or general manager of the business, have admin access so that you can add and remove delegate users as necessary. And that's going to be how you'll add a trusted staff member or a vendor who's going to help you manage this profile for you. So we've created a checklist for you to download to help you with this task. So we encourage you to download this checklist and follow it. Next up on your list, defining your goals. It's not really going to be effective for you to delegate something to a staff member or hire a vendor if you can't clearly articulate what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So I'm sure you've heard about the acronym SMART. Make sure your goals are SMART goals. They need to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and have a time limit on them. So, what you're doing in this exercise on your to-do list is you're trying to get real specific on how your business goals relate to your SEO goals. In the lesson on how to create some of those goals, we shared an example with a worksheet that you can make a copy of. You can fill out with your information and modify it to make it your own. We highly encourage you to do that so you can get some clarity on what your specific goals are. Okay, now that you've got your goals defined, you'll need to define how are you going to measure progress towards those goals and how are you going to measure success. And remember, we had a couple of examples in an earlier module. An example of a specific SEO goal would be to improve your SEO to the point that it's generating enough leads that you can lower your spending on third-party lead aggregators. Another example would be, let's say you get a pretty hefty chunk of all of your leads from the manufacturer that you install. Depending on what products you're installing, you may have to pay the manufacturer for those leads. So if you can generate your own leads from SEO, you can reduce the amount of money that you spend on those manufacturer leads, or at least reduce your reliance on them in case they change their dealer program. Then you've got your own source of exclusive leads and you're not so reliant on that source. Another goal example that we talked about in an earlier module, you may set a goal where you're spending, more than you'd like to on PPC, and you're targeting those really competitive, what we call tofu keywords. If you can rank for really strategic keywords on SEO, you can lower your PPC budget. And then lastly, an example of how you'll measure success is you may pick a few, a really specific list of keywords in a specific county or city or geographic area where you don't currently rank well, and pick a pretty short list and say, okay, I want to rank, I want to improve my rankings for siding replacement contractors in, let's say, a specific county. That is a specific goal that you can measure, and you can tell whether or not your vendor is making progress towards that goal, and you can say when you can declare victory on it. And then another example of how you can measure success, also tied to a specific goal, would be, say, to increase SEO traffic to a specific landing page on your site. So these are all examples of how you can tie your goals to measurable outcomes. Okay, so now let's talk about things that you can delegate. When it comes to your Google business profile, there's some, routine maintenance that needs to be done. You don't need to be doing this. Either someone on your staff or a vendor can do this, but someone should be posting new content to your Google business profile about once a week. Someone should be responding to reviews, both negative and positive reviews. As long as you have, a standard kind of boilerplate set of responses, this should be something that you can delegate. And the only ones that you, as a leader in the company, should be responding to are the really sticky ones that might require some hand-holding or personal outreach to someone who might be upset. But otherwise, you should be able to delegate responding to reviews. Someone on your team, either a vendor or a staff person, should be adding photos to your Google My Business profile. Again, you don't need to do this. You can delegate it. And then reviewing performance reports to just kind of keep track on how many calls you're generating, people getting directions to your showroom and things like that. So what you could delegate is the review of performance reports and then reporting those results back to you. The other thing that you can do, and we covered this in the Google My Business lesson, is you can, if you have promotional offers, seasonal offers, or maybe your showroom hours change, someone on your team should be able to make those changes for you, and it should be part of their normal workflow. So those are things you can delegate. Okay, when it comes to keyword and competitor research, here's what you can delegate. Your vendor or someone on your staff should be showing you the list of target or focus keywords that your SEO campaigns are aimed at. There should be a list of keywords by trade. And by trade, we mean siding, roofing, gutters, windows. Many of our clients do more than one trade. And you should have a list of specific target keywords for the trades that you represent in your SEO strategy. But that's something your vendor or staff person should do. We don't think you should do it. Then once you get those target keywords, your vendor should be showing you the local search volume for those keywords. There's lots of great tools through Google Ads, and some other tools that can show you historic monthly search volumes on those keywords and predicted monthly search volumes for very specific areas that you can include and exclude in your forecast. Your vendor should also be sharing with you your current rankings on your targeted keywords. So in the screenshot you see here, let's say jacuzzi bath remodeling is a keyword that you've targeted in your service area. Well, you want to know how you rank for it and whether or not those rankings are going up and down. This is something you can delegate, and someone on your team should be reporting this to you at a regular interval. Your competitors' rankings. The screenshot you're looking at here is an example of a competitive analysis that we did and shared in a spreadsheet. And so it's just an overview of a few competitors for one of our clients in their service area, showing like, here are the keywords that these competitors rank for in the top 10 spots. and what the search volume is on those keywords. So your vendor may present it in a slightly different format, but they should be able to show you some insight on your competitors and what their websites rank for. Okay, what else are you delegating? Content strategy. In the very first module of this lesson, we said that content is going to be the biggest driver of your SEO game plan. And so when it comes to content, someone on your team, either your SEO vendor or someone on your staff, should be presenting to you a list of proposed topics that they will be writing blog posts, writing long format articles on, writing downloadable PDFs about. You should at some point have someone on your team present something like this to you for your input and review. It may not look exactly like this, but this is 100% in the wheelhouse of things you should delegate. Tell someone on your team, bring me a content strategy, and then you give feedback on it. Technical SEO, audit and fixes. Again, this is something that should be delegated. There are tons of tools out there, and any reputable SEO vendor should have tools at their disposal where they can run an audit either at the beginning of your relationship or periodically, maybe once a quarter or once every 6 months, just to find some of those little annoying little issues that pop up as you maintain a website, or as plugins get updated or the algorithm gets updated, and your vendor should run this report and let you know, oh, we found some errors and we're working on them. And the fix for those errors should either be part of the fees that you are paying to an SEO vendor, or someone should report to you, hey, we ran this audit. It'll be a little bit extra money to do these fixes. But this is 100% in the category of things that you can delegate. And then tracking and reporting. When you work either with someone on your staff or an outsourced vendor, you should be able to delegate. You should agree on the list of KPIs that your team is tracking and what they're reporting to you. You should agree on the reporting frequency. Is it once a month? Is it once every 2 months? Are you meeting every 2 weeks to review things? And so this is something that you delegate, and you as the leader should be receiving reports with insights on what the reports mean and whether or not the numbers are moving in the right direction.